ready.
Okay, JSEPAO, this is Houston. Please call station for a voice check.
Station, this is JSEPAO. How do you hear me?
Well, hello. We hear you loud and clear.
Good morning. This is Mark Carreau from the Houston Chronicle, and I have a question for Jeff Williams. If he could sort of describe his first impressions of the space station and what kind of condition he thinks it's in.
Well, I was overwhelmed with my initial impressions of the space station. Obviously, it's a lot different than it was when I was here in May of 2000. It's very roomy, especially compared to a Soyuz capsule after spending 48 or 58 hours or 50 hours on Soyuz. Bill and Valerie have put the space station in very good shape. We're very pleased with the condition of the vehicle, and looking very much forward to our expedition after we send them safely home on Sunday.
Thank you, and I had a question for Marcos Pontes, please. Could you give us a sort of idea of what it means to Brazil to have its first astronaut in space?
I imagine that for the country, for the entire country, it is a big event. It's a kind of historical event. We were expecting this for a long time, and this year is 100 years of the first Brazilian aviator flight. So this is a very significant moment for my country.
Station, this is JSCPAO. Please stand by for a voice check from KSCPAO.
Station, this is Kennedy PAO. How do you hear me?
At KSC, it's station. We hear you loud and clear, and it's nice to talk to you guys.
Hi, this is Chris Kreidler from Florida Today. My first question's for Jeff Williams and Bill MacArthur. Can you describe what's going to be involved in the camp-out and whether you'll be communicating with the rest of the crew during that time?
Well, we were very happy that you're following our activities so closely that you're interested in the camp-out. Of course, it's very important that we try to eliminate the nitrogen in our bloodstreams before doing an EVA to minimize the chance of getting a condition called the bends, which is something that the divers often experience. In order to help eliminate nitrogen, it's helpful if we reduce the ambient pressure, the pressure around us. And so what Jeff and I are going to do is seal ourselves in the airlock tonight, reduce the pressure from the normal atmospheric pressure of 14.7 down to 10.2. And we're interested in verifying that the onboard systems, the onboard software, will in fact manage the pressure and manage the correct percentage of oxygen while we're there. And this is a test because upcoming shuttle flights, upcoming shuttle crews hope to camp out inside the airlock to reduce the amount of oxygen pre-breathe time they do before actually depressing the airlock and going out. So Jeff and I have got our sleeping bags, a lot of personal equipment in there. Gosh, it's going to be pretty simple. After dinner, we're going to close the hatch. We're going to depress the airlock and visit for a little bit. Jeff and I are old Army buddies, and so we'll just be telling old Army stories for a while and go to sleep. And in the morning, we'll wake up, repress, open the airlock, and hopefully we'll have gathered all the data that folks on the ground need to validate that function of the airlock.
And I would add that we have easy communication with the rest of the crew, obviously through the inter. The rest of the crew will be doing their scheduled activities, primarily in the Russian segment. No concerns among the crew.
And another question for me, for Bill and for Valerie. Could you just talk about maybe your favorite moments aboard the station during the last 6 months and what you are most looking forward to when you get home.
What I want to say, we are ready to go home, but we accomplished all our tasks, and we are happy, we feel good, and I want to say we're happy both. To pin down a specific moment would be very difficult. Valeria and I trained together for 4.5 years for this mission, and I think rather than a high moment, the whole experience has clearly been the apex of at least my professional career and maybe Valeria's as well. And I think the real pleasure was, in fact, coming up here, living and working in space with a very good friend. Valeria refers to us as space brothers, so we really weren't away from family the whole time. And so just doing the work, accomplishing the tasks that we trained for so long has been particularly gratifying. What are we looking forward to? We're looking forward to going home and seeing our families.
This is David Waters from Central Florida News 13, and this question is first for Bill. Tell us about the science that you've been able to get done on station, and then if you can hand it off after that to Jeff Williams. Jeff, if you can tell us what you're looking forward to in terms of getting more science done, especially when the next shuttle crew drops off another member up there.
Well, we've been pretty lucky. Valeria has had a very rigorous science program. He's been working, doing Earth observation, plant growth experiments. He and I both have been both the testers and the subjects on each other and on ourselves on a number of biological, human physiological experiments. Here in the U.S. segment, we were fortunate and able to exceed the planned time allotment for scientific experiment by about 50%. So we were very fortunate to be able to do that. The experiments here included one called binary colloidal alloy test, BCAT, and we were able to observe phenomena in how colloids phase separate that simply have never been observed before. They were unpredicted, and they simply could not be observed on the Earth. So the scientists there are pretty excited about some new directions that they can go. We did some protein crystallography on board using a pretty clever technique which reduces the need to return crystal samples to the Earth. So all in all, we're even with the reduced crew, we're very pleased at the amount of science we were able to accomplish.
And the short answer for Expedition 13, at least in the U.S. segment, shuttle gets here is to continue doing pretty much what Bill has been doing. Specifically, what we'll be doing is yet to be discussed, decided on. Payloads and Science Group. I plan on dedicating some Saturday morning science to them. Bill has. Of course, once the shuttle gets here and ULF-1 comes on board and Tomas Ryder joins us on the crew, that'll increase the crew size, increase the capability, of course, to get more science. The ULF 1.1 will also bring additional facilities to expand the science We're looking forward to bringing them on board, both for increased crew size as well as increased capability.
Are there any worries that you may not be able to get all the science you want to done with this upcoming mission that you're on?
I don't have any worries per se. Obviously, we only have a finite amount of time. We have a finite amount of capability. So our objective is to accomplish the tasks that we're given day by day and do it safely, successfully, and keep the station in good shape. We get back into the business of assembly increasing the space station's overall capability.
Hi, it's Chris Kreidler from Florida Today with one more question. What kind of advice has the current crew given to the new crew that's come aboard?
Well, Bill and I spend most of the time in the handover of the U.S. segment, and Bill's got all kinds of great advice. Obviously, when you go into a new environment, there's a lot of things that you can learn on your own the hard way, or you can take advantage of the experience of somebody else that's been in the environment, like all kinds of tips. And I don't think you really can appreciate the magnitude of the importance of those kinds of tips of working in this environment until you get here and just find out how difficult even some simple things can be. So the handover in general is very well, very pleased, and I feel very comfortable in my job in the U.S. segment where the Expedition 12 crew leaves this weekend.
Station, this is Houston ACR. Please stand by for a voice check from MCC Moscow.
Station, this is MCC Moscow. How do you hear me?
Okay, loud and clear.
Телеканал «Россия», приветствую вас, Ольга Пастухова.
TV Russia, Olga Pastukhova. My first question is for Marcus. You're not smiling too much. Is it difficult to be on board the station?
No, it's normal. It's still here with me all the time. Actually, sometimes here it's difficult to keep the balance here, but it's okay.
У меня вопрос к Павлу Винограду.
Коля, это он сосредоточен для ответа.
He is concentrating on the answers.
Павел.
My question is for Pavel. You have studied and trained to be on the station on the ground. Now you are on board the station, the five of us. How comfortable do you feel all together? And have you met or exceeded your expectations for the station? Well, the station is way more beautiful than it may appear from the ground, and when we approached the station and held our distance at about 200 meters, it was a fantastic view. This incredible structure, the beautiful machine flying over the earth. Of course, it invokes the feelings of pride for our countries that were able to build something like this in space. Inside the station, it is comfortable. The station is large and roomy.
Достаточно долго лететь друг до друга, если мы работаем в разных отсеках.
It is quite a distance if we are working in different modules, so there is plenty of space. We have had a great reception, a very warm reception, and we still feel the excitement and will continue to feel the excitement of being on the station. Good luck to you guys. Hello, Russia Today TV, Елена Vodovets. Can you please tell us, what do you feel when going out on the spacewalk? What are the feelings, what are the experiences that are associated with that? Who is this question for? This is for Valery and Pavel.
Как вам сказать?
Well, how can I describe it? If you ever stood on an edge of a high crevice, there is an abyss below you, and you're and you're feeling scared and weak in your knees. So this is the feeling you get, because you realize that the earth is below you. When you're looking outside the window, it's one thing, but when you're out in the space and you're able to view the entire planet, you're awestruck by the magnitude of that view. Although at the same time, there is a feeling that the planet is not as big as we're used to perceive it. So, in short, the feeling is unique, and you need to try it. Thank you.
From Russia today. Hello. I just wondered, what does it smell like, and what does it sound like in the International Space Station?
Well, the air is remarkably clean. There are very few odors on board. Of course, when we cook food, we can smell the food, and it's quite delicious. And so it's a very clean, very bright environment. Some places it's extremely quiet. If we're in locations besides some of the air handling equipment, such as the Vazduch, the air conditioning systems, it's a little louder, but an extremely pleasant, clean environment.
And I also wondered, what sort of dreams do you have when you're asleep? I've heard that astronauts, when they dream that there are people floating around. What's it like to dream in the International Space Station?
Frankly speaking, we slept well. It just only sometimes. I want to say I saw only one during one mission beautiful dream. It just was a color dream. I don't remember that I saw on the ground. That's it. I will not tell you who and how I saw.
And if you could make one addition to the space station, what would that be? You have computers, you have a running machine. What would you add? What's missing there?
I would add more people. The space station is an extraordinary facility, and we're very excited that the Expedition 13 crew will hopefully be joined by a third crew member. But what we really hope is that in the future the crew size will be even greater, so that we can realize the research potential on board the International Space Station.
Hello, this is Mir TV and Radio Company. Pavel, can you please tell us what was your first dream on the first night in space, and do crew members see dreams? Well, you know, I don't think I saw any dreams, because the day before docking was a very busy one. We worked for 20 hours straight, and after working that long, you don't see any dreams. You just close your eyes and sleep, and then you wake up. So that's what it was like. The first day was quite busy, and I didn't see any dreams over these 2 nights. I was just sleeping off the accumulated fatigue, and in order to be ready for the busy program that is ahead of us. We're still going through the adaptation. It will take a few more days, so we do get tired by the end of the days. But do crew members have any special dreams, different from the ground?
Yes, I had an interesting dream the first day here. When I was sleeping, and I was dreaming that I was flying by myself without airplanes. So when I woke up,
I saw that I was flying by myself without a plane. That was very interesting thing.
Спасибо.
Thank you.
Вас приветствует информационное агентство РИА Новости.
This is Novosti News Agency, Alexander Kovalov. I have two questions. We have among us in the Russian Mission Control Center, there are some children here. Those children are part of the World Corps of Cosmonauts, and they're asking me to ask you, when will they be able to go to space? So this is the first question. Well, I think as soon as they turn 25 or 30 and they become good specialists, physically fit, the road to space will be open to them. They just need to really want it and love this.
Хорошо. Главное, чтобы они сами хотели этого.
So the most important thing is to have this desire. Thank you. My second question is to Marcus Pontes. We know that you're scheduled to be on board the station for only 1 week. Have you been able to start on executing your program that was developed by the Brazilian Space Agency? Have you been able to start your scientific experiments, and to what extent your Russian colleagues will be assisting you in your program? Thank you.
Yes, this is a short mission, like 1 week, 8 days here, and up to now I was able to accomplish about 60% of the experiments that I'm supposed to finish until the end of the mission. They are going very well, and in terms of health and sensation, very good, no problems at all, and that's it. It's a marvelous experience. It's been a very, very good time. I'm sure that I'm going to miss a lot this place next week.
Thank you.
Coronel, aqui é o Marcelo Torres, do SBT. É um prazer falar com o senhor. Daqui a 5 dias o senhor já está voltando aqui para a Terra. Eu queria saber como é que está a expectativa do senhor para essa viagem de volta, como é que o senhor está se preparando, o que o senhor espera da volta para a Terra?
No momento, eu estou, vamos dizer assim, aproveitando o tempo aqui, fazendo os experimentos, me preparando e tudo mais. Eu ainda não tive, vamos dizer, um tempo para pensar a respeito do retorno. Mas eu acredito que vai ser alguma coisa bastante interessante no país. Eu acho que a gente tem bastante experiência para contar, muita história para contar, e eu pretendo passar isso especialmente para os jovens do país.
Muito obrigado.
Coronel, aqui é a Aline Basso da TV Nacional, um prazer estar falando aí com vocês. Gostaria de perguntar se você acha que na volta aqui à Terra vai ter alguma dificuldade com o peso das coisas, como, por exemplo, pegar um copo sem deixar caí-lo.
Olha, é interessante, mas a gente se adapta rápido à situação. Realmente aqui a gente começa a perder um pouco esse cuidado que a gente tem em segurar alguma coisa e colocar apoiado em algum lugar. Aqui, se você deixar, a coisa fica parada, exceto pela movimentação natural do ano, vamos dizer assim. Então, acredito que no começo vai ter algumas situações interessantes. Vamos ver como é que vai acontecer. Eu conto depois.
Tá, obrigada.
Marcos do Show da TV Globo. Marcos, você falou dos olhos azuis da sua mãe, você comparou com o azul da Terra. Você tem pensado na sua família, no seu pai, com mais de 80 anos? Já imaginou um pouquinho o que ele deve estar passando na cabeça dele de ver um filho no espaço? Imagina que ele nasceu quando criança, numa outra época que nem avião existia. O que ele deve estar pensando? Você pensa nele, pensa na sua família nesse momento?
Eu penso bastante. Meu pai foi uma pessoa que trabalhou muito na vida para conseguir criar a gente, e eu tenho certeza que ele deve estar com bastante orgulho de ter o filho aqui no espaço, né, pela primeira vez. E minha mãe também, com certeza. Eu realmente lembrei disso, foi para mim uma sensação muito, muito boa, muito bonita, diga de passagem. Assim como cada dia que eu passo em cima do Brasil, a gente passa várias vezes, eu vejo e penso em todas as pessoas que sempre, durante esse tempo todo, estiveram no apoio, estiveram apoiando, falando positivamente sobre isso. Então, eu acho que todo esse pessoal merece, e isso vai ficar para o futuro, essa ideia de perseverança, determinação, que essas pessoas demonstraram ao longo desses anos todos, brigando por esse projeto.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event. Thank you.